In today's tutorial, let's explore this rib stitch scarf together. This is very, very simple, and let me show you the tricks and secrets on being able to make one for yourself. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as YarnSpirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to make a rib stitch scarf. This is part of the February 2016 mood scarf series where the colors are depending on your mood, and you can see all the different kinds of moods that you can change, and it's completely up to you. Today's tutorial I'm going to cover the basics on how to be able to do the stitch work for this particular mood scarf. The color changing is up to you. I'm going to show you some tricks to be able to change your colors even if you're not having a mood swing. I'm going to show you where you need to change your colors in order to make this pattern work for you. So without further ado, let's grab some yarn and let's talk a little bit more about this project. So this scarf is depending on sets of 2. So even if you wanted to make this into a full-size afghan, as long as you keep them in sets of 2, you're always going to be able to work out in order to keep the ribbing really quite balanced. It's really quite easy to follow. What we're going to be concentrating on today is that we're going to do double crochet front post as well as a double crochet back post within this tutorial today. And once you get the swing of it, it's really quite easy, and you can pick it up, put it down as often as you wish, and you're going to be able to pick it up right where you started, or right where you left off really. So let's begin. Let's grab a crochet hook. So they're asking for a 5.5mm size H crochet hook today, which is in my hand, and they're using Caron Simply Soft throughout today's tutorial. You can use this for any type of stitch, whether you want to even do the Bernat blanket yarns. Just make sure that your hook complements your yarn. So let's begin. I'm just going to start off with the slip knot, and there are slower tutorials on how to do the basics of crochet here on our YouTube channel. And let's insert our hook into the slip knot. Remember that the slip knot never counts as one. So within today's project, if you're doing the scarf as is, you need to chain 34, but if you want to change the sizes, just keep it in sets of 2, and I'm going to do that for today's demonstration. I don't need to do the whole scarf in order to show you how to do the stitch. So as long as I keep it in sets of 2, I'm always going to be right. So I'm just going to go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and you're going to stop when you're satisfied with the width of it if you want to improvise. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, just like that. So that's how you would do the first line. So if you're doing the scarf as is, it's chain 34. If you want to improvise, let's just keep it in sets of 2. So let's begin the first row, and you'll notice that it says WS. This is the wrong side, and this is going to matter in the next part of the next instruction. So what we're going to do is that we're going to, no matter what size that you have, even if you made it into an afghan size, you're going to count to the 4th chain. Just turn it over and count back. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just turn it over and get that back loop only of your chain, and just double crochet into that chain. And what I want you to do, now that you've done the back loop of that one, the chain will stay turned upside down, and you'll see the back loops all exposed, and you are just going to simply just double crochet into each one of those all the way until the other side of your project, whether it's a scarf or even an afghan. So you're just gonna double crochet yourself all the way across. So we're not sweating at this point and being able to figure out the stitch work, and it's going to be quite awesome. So let's just go all the way to the end. And I'm almost there already because it's such a small example. My goal today is just to show you how to do the stitch, how to change color if you need to, because if you're doing the moods, then you're obviously going to change color. So you're going to go right to the very end. Okay, so you got one left, and just double crochet. Okay, and what I want you to do now is that we're going to turn our work and start row number 2. So let's begin row number 2. We're going to turn our work, but before we begin anything at this point, what I want you to do is just pull up on a loop, get it bigger, and just let it hold. Now it says in the instructions in the notes that you want to apply a safety pin to the right side of the scarf. Now remember what I just said, this side was the wrong side, so this side, when I turned it around, is the right side. It's the side that's very visual. So what I want you to do at this point is that I want you to grab either a safety pin or a spare piece of yarn and just put it onto an area just slightly in, so that this will always stay on the one side. So whenever we change color, it's always suggesting you do it when you're facing the right side. And I'm just lightly attaching this to here, so I always will be able to recognize what is the right side and what's the wrong side. Once you get on this project, you're never going to know. So let's put this back on the hook. So I know now that this neon color is always going to represent the right side of the project. So let's begin row number 2. So to continue row number 2, what we're just going to do is that we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a double crochet as you have read in the instructions. So it's asking you to start off with a double crochet front post in the next, and then a double crochet back post into the one after that. And we're going to keep alternating that all the way to the end of the line. So to do that, we wrap the hook first, and we go into the side of a post and back out the other side. This is the front post double crochet, and wrap the yarn, pull through 2 and 2. So it's double crochet but through a front post. Now the other one is, the next one is a back post double crochet. So it's the double crochet back post. Wrap the hook coming around from the back side, pop it out through the front, and pop that same post out to the back. Okay, so you're accessing it from the back, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Just finish it off like a regular double crochet. So that was the back post. So the next one is obviously a front post. So wrapping it, coming into the side of the post, back out the front, and the next one is a back post. So wrap the hook coming from the back out to the front and back out to the back again, just like this. So the next one is a front post, so in through the side. Once you get the rhythm of this, this is really quite easy. You'll notice that the ribs will all line up all the way out through the scarf, and once I show you the next row, which is the repeat row for everything for the remainder of the scarf, it's quite easy. So the next one is a front post, double crochet, next one is a back post. So once you get to the final one all the way across, the last one in the turning chain is just a double crochet. So a double crochet right into the turning chain itself. So don't do any front or back posts on the side chain like this. Okay, so let's turn our work and move up to row number 3. So let's turn our work and we're moving up to row number 3. So you can see when you turn it around, the stitches that are in front here are the front posts, and the stitches that are in the back posts are back posts. So in order to make this whole thing work, and you'll look at this in the picture, is that these ribs all stay consistent. So we're going to start off in the one right here. This is a front post and the next one is a back post. So we want to match exactly and keep it exactly what you see. So wrap in the hook. We want to chain 3. 1, 2, 3 to start. So the very first one right here is a front post double crochet. We want to keep it as a front post. So wrap the hook and do it as a front post double crochet. Okay, the next one is a back post. You can see that it's tucked in behind. So coming around from the back, pop it back out to the back and do that as a back post, and that'll keep your ribbing consistent. So the next one is a front post. So you don't have to count anything, you just got to look at what's there and just exactly match what you see. So it's either going to be a front post or it's going to be a back post double crochet, just like this, and you're going to go all the way to the end. So I promised you that we had the front side and the wrong side for your instructions, and I'm going to show you how to do that next. And you can see that the right side, okay, is actually facing away from me because I put that marker in there. But you know, if that marker wasn't there, honestly, unless I'm looking at the string, I would never be able to tell. So we have to really be kind of careful with that. So when you get all the way to the other side, you're just going to put in a double crochet right into the top of the turning chain. So let's pretend we're changing color. Not pretend, I'll show you how to change color, and we'll do that next. So let's say I'm satisfied and I want to change the color. So you can see that the right side is on the other side of here. So when I turn it around, the right side is facing us. So I want to fasten this off before I move on. So all I'm just going to do is just grab some scissors and cut my yarn. And I just want to pull this string through. And I want to weave it nicely within the stitch work that you see. You could also use a darning needle if you wish. A darning needle is better. So if I just grab up a darning needle here off camera, I would do a darning needle if it were me. But if you don't have a lot of time and you prefer not to put in the extra work, that's up to you. So if you put it in the darning needle, a work can never fall out if it goes in 3 different directions. So just gliding it along some of the fibers, just going in. Okay, just kind of giving it a bit of slack, go back in the same direction, but through a different area of the fibers. Because if you go in the exact same path, it'll fall out. And then you go one more time, so a third time in. This is the best way to change colors, and therefore you can cut this yarn right at where it's popping out. Like so. Not the sharpest scissors. And let's turn our work in. Let's get ready. So I can see that this is the front side, and so let's get our next color. So I'm just going to go for the neon, because why not keep it bright. And I'm going to start off with a slip knot, and I'm going to put that on my hook, and I'm going to join it to the very first one here. Okay, and I can tell this is the right side because we've already marked that, and I want to just put the yarn over and pull through to attach. Okay, and what I want to do is just this straggler here, okay, right here, what I want to do is just yarn over and pull it through the one. So we're going to chain 3, so this will be one of the 3, and then I'm going to let that straggler fall out. This will be 2 and 3, just like that. So we just have to match exactly what you see. So you can see that this is the front post, this is the back post. So don't worry about the straggler, just let it fall out of the way. So we just got to match. So the first one will be a front post, double crochet. The next one will be a back post, double crochet. So no big deal, right? So this is all this particular pattern is just a matter of rib work going. The ribs all just kind of follow all the way down, just like this. So just going back and forth, whether it's back post or front post, doesn't matter. Just exactly match what you have. There are other types of stitches where you can make it opposite to each other. Basket weave is a great example of that too. So once you get all the way to the other side, okay, don't forget a double crochet in the top of the turning chain. Okay, not into a gap space, but an actual chain. Turn your work and begin the next row. So we chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the first one is a front post, you can see that. So you just match. So the mood scarf, you change the colors as often as your mood swings, and you can do as many rows as you prefer that your mood is. Mine could be black some days, I'm sure, in raving lunatic mad red. Up to you. You know, it's your mood swing. You can decide what colors that work for you. But this is a great little scarf. It goes relatively quickly, as you can see, and because you're working on the ribs, it has some elasticity to it, and it works out to be quite nice. This was the straggler here that we can safely trim out. Because of the way that I had you put it in, you can just safely trim that right down and not worry about it. So make sure you put it in double crochet right into the top, and the scarf is actually quite fabulous. It's easy to make, and you just go as long as you need to go. So it says the scarf is going to be about 70 inches long, and that doesn't include the fringe, and the fringe I think is about was actually quite generous in length as well. It's about 8 inches extra on both sides. And so this is just how you do the scarf. It's a rib stitch scarf. It's really quite amazing. Have some fun with the color, and you can have some really fun with the ideas as well. You can even do some Doctor Who or anything like that with this particular stitch. It's just a lot of fun. Till next time, Mikey on behalf of the Yarn Inspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com. Have a super day, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.